In this lecture, we are discussing about the water decontamination technologies in the previous lectures. Today's lecture also we will discuss the same thing, fourth step for that, that is filtration. It is under a secondary treatment. So there were three treatments, primary, secondary and tertiary. We are discussing about the secondary treatment which contains sedimentation aided with coagulation as well as the filtration. So first one we have discussed earlier, now we will move on to filtration. Filtration, as you all know, it is just the process of passing the water through the beds of granular material, maybe sand or gravel or whatever it is. Some granular materials are provided for filtering the water. So here it is, there is a figure there. So water comes here and water contains some suspended matter. When it passes through this filter or the beds of granular material, it will get trapped at the surface or in between the material, and the pure water will get filtered out. So the filtered water is potable and palatable, and it is free from various undesirable impurities like color, odor, turbidity, pathogenic bacteria, etc. And the theory of filtration contains mainly three things. That is, it can remove both suspended matter, chemical characteristics of water can be removed, and bacteria can also be removed by filtration. So all the three can be done by means of filtration. And this theory is based on four mechanisms. So how it can remove the suspended matter, how it can remove the chemical properties, how it can remove the bacteria. So this depends upon four main mechanisms which occurs while filtering. One is mechanical straining, second thing is sedimentation, third thing is biological metabolism, and the fourth thing is electrolytic charges. So in the right side, it is given a figure here. So this is a filter. Normally sand is used as a filter. Gravel will be a supporting base material for sand, and this is the sectional view of a filter actually. Okay, and below there will be an under drain. The under drain, the inlet, through the inlet, the water with suspended matters or whatever it is, wastewater, will be given to the tank, and it will pass through the sand and gravel. It will get filtered out. All the suspended matter and some materials, bacteria, etc. will be what is that? It will be trapped here, and the remaining pure water will come out. This is provided for overflowing or backwashing. Okay, so this is the thing happening here, and this thing occurs by four actions. One is mechanical straining. Mechanical straining means when the water enters into the field, when the filter is newly installed, then there is nothing in this, only sand and gravel. So water will enter here and water will pass through this due to the action of the sand and gravel, not action of due to the particular voids present in the sand and gravel, very small voids present in sand and gravel. This suspended impurities which are larger than the size of the voids will be trapped between the sands and the gravel. Okay, that is known as mechanical straining. The trapping of suspended matter which is larger than the size of the voids of sand and gravel. It is known as mechanical straining. And second thing is sedimentation. So we will move on to each of them. First one is mechanical straining. In that sand contains small pores, and the suspended matter which are bigger than the size of the voids will be trapped. Okay, that is the first thing. Second thing is sedimentation. Sedimentation is actually when the trapping of materials will occur only when the size of the material is larger than the voids. Okay, so filter when the size of the material is larger than the filter, then only the trapping will occur. Okay, when the size of the materials is very small, very finer, then sedimentation of the material may sometimes occur. That type of materials will sediment. Okay, that types of materials will sediment. The colloidal matter arrested in the voids is the gelatinous mass and therefore attract other finer particles too. So that can be termed as sedimentation. The third action occurring inside this filter is biological action. So when the water contains some organic impurities, it will get deposited over the surface of the sand and it will form a layer. The organic impurities or algae or whatever organic substances present in the water will be trapped above the sand and it will form a layer known as Schmutz deck. Schmutz deck. Okay, it is otherwise known as dirty skin. So this layer will be formed here, and this layer contains a lot of microorganisms that can react with this water for decomposing other waste in water. Okay, all the other waste in water will be decomposed by these microorganisms present here. Okay, and this bacteria convert the impurities into harmless compounds. So this is the third action occurring in filter. And the fourth action is electrolytic action. Some elements or some types of impurities present in water may contain charges. So then it reacts with the sand particles or whatever it is, and it will get neutralized and flocks will be formed. So such flocks can be removed. So that is known as electrolytic action. During the process of backwashing, this flocks will be removed. Okay. So these are the four actions by which filtration occurs inside a filter. Okay. Now filtration materials. So which are the materials mainly used for filtering? We will use mainly three materials: sand, gravel and anthracite. We'll move on to each of the materials and see the properties. Sand, it is actually obtained from quartzite, trap, basalt, etc. That kind of rock materials will derive sand. It is free from clay, loam and organic matter. Sand which is free from clay, loam and organic matter will be used for filtering. Uniform size and nature will be there. Hard and resistant filter material. And when placed, it will not react with hydrochloric acid. So all these will be have to be the properties of the sand which is used for filtering. The second again this is about sand, and the effective size of the particles. Sand particles have different sizes, right? So effective size of the particles to be used as a filter is zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.3 mm for slow sand filters. These are a type of filter. Okay, 0.45 and 0.7 millimeter for rapid sand filters. So see, these filters we will see later, and these two are the sizes, effective sizes to be chosen. When it is a very fine size, it will clog. Okay. When it is very coarse, suspended particle will not be trapped. That is the case. So we have to choose an optimum size. And uniformity coefficient, uniformity of particle size can be represented by D60 by D10. D60 and D10 are the effective diameter which are finer than 60% and 10%. So effective size of the particle. Okay. So D60 by D10 value should be between 3 and 5 for slow sand and 1.3 to 1.7 for rapid sand filters. And the depth of the sand bed to be given should be 60 to 90 centimeter. So these are the properties of sand to be chosen as a filter. Another filter material is gravel. Gravel is hard, durable, free from impurities, properly rounded and have a density of 1600 kg per cubic meter. Then only we can use the gravel for filtering. And they are placed in layers. 5 to 6 layers can be placed, having finest size on the top. So large sized particles will be given at the bottom and finest size will be given at the top. Then only uniform or constant filtering will occur, efficient filtering will occur. Okay, so this is about gravel. And another filter material is anthracite. It is actually a substitute for sand. When sand is not there, then we can use this anthracite. This is very costly actually. So these are the materials which are used for filtering. Now we'll move on to the different filters. There are mainly two types of filters. One is gravity filter. Gravity filter means movement of water by means of gravitational force only. Pressure filter means we are applying some pressure for the some pressure in some areas in the filter. Okay, that is the thing. So gravity filters are of two types: slow sand and rapid sand filters. Slow sand is otherwise known as biological, and rapid sand is otherwise known as mechanical. Pressure filters are again of two types: horizontal and vertical. So we'll see each of them. First one is slow sand filter. So slow sand filter is a common filter which is used for removing the bacteria, chemical properties and other biological organisms or suspended materials which are present in water. So all the things can be removed by means of this slow sand filter. Water is allowed to pass slowly through a layer of sand placed above the base material. So we are allowing the water to pass through the sand or any base or any filtering material. So that is the thing occurring here. And it can filter 50 to 100 times slower than that of a rapid gravity filter. So there is another filter known as rapid filters. So the slow sand filters will filter water in a rate 50 to 100 times slower than that of rapid filter. And it is used to remove turbidity, suspended solids and pathogens. It is mostly used in rural areas. It is not a developed system, so it can be used in rural areas. And the filtered final water will have a turbidity less than zero point 0.3 nephelometric turbidity units. So this is a very pure water then. Okay. So this is about the purpose of the sand filter, slow sand filter. They can remove all the suspended matters including bacteria from the water, but the process will be very slow. And the important parts of the slow sand filters are enclosure tank, under drainage system, base material, filter media and appurtenances. Appurtenances are any other devices which are used as a supplementary devices. Okay, so you can see that. So this is a picture of a slow sand filter. So there will be a tank, enclosure tank. This is known as the enclosure tank where the filtration occurs. Okay. Second thing is under drainage. Under drainage is this place. So this is the under drainage. This is a pipe. There is a pipe here. So this is the under drainage. The filtered water will be taken from this area. And base material. So this is the base material. This is sand. Okay. I'm sorry, base material is whatever is placed below the sand. That may be gravel. Okay. And this is the filter material. It is gravel. So these are the main parts of a appurtenances are there. Appurtenances means some ventilators, venturi meters, weirs, etc. are appurtenances. Okay. So these are the main parts of a slow sand filter. What is happening here is we are providing the raw water into this inlet. Okay. So this is a tank. This tank contains sand as well as gravel. Sand 0.3, 0.6 to 1.2 meter depth sand is available. So water is provided here at a depth of 1 to 1.5 meter is constantly maintained. And what will happen? The water will move down through the sand and the gravel and it will get filtered out. Sure. Okay. So it will get filtered out. First, after some time some time of the filtration, a layer will be formed here. That layer is known as Schmutzdecke. Schmutzdecke is actually an organic layer which contains microorganisms, okay, present in the water. So that will react with further particles and it will purify the water. So the water finally reaches here. This is the under drainage. Under drainage is a portion where this filtered water is collected and it will be delivered to the outlet. So this is the outlet. In between there are some devices which are known as appurtenances which are used for measuring the pressure or allowing the water to fall safely. So all that are appurtenances. Some regulating valves are there. So this is the thing happening here. So first part is enclosure tank. As you all know, enclosure tank is the place where we are allowing the water. This is a plan view of an enclosure tank or under drainage. We can say this is the plan view of an under drainage. Actually what is happening is this enclosure tank is an open basin. It is open, rectangular shape and built below finished ground level. And surface area is 30 to 2000 square meter we can choose. Depth of the tank is 2.5 to 4 meter. Floor has a bed slope of 1 in 100. So bed slope will be, so this is when this is our inlet and this is the outlet, bed slope will be like this. In this direction a bed slope will be there for the movement of water, movement of fresh water. And 1 to 100 to 1 to 200 will be the bed slope. Filtration rate is 100 to 200 liter per square meter per hour. Okay. So this figure shows the base of that tank. Okay, actually this shows the under drainage. Okay, second part is under drainage. This is a figure of actually the under drainage. Under drainage consists of a central drain and laterals will be there. So these laterals and the central drain will collect the water, filtered water from the filter and it will be delivered to the outlet. Okay, so this is the thing. So second part is under drainage. It consists of a main drain and a laterals and some laterals. Laterals are made up of earthenware pipes of 7.5 to 10 centimeter diameter at a spacing of 2.5 to 3.5 meter. And they are stopped at a distance of 500 to 800 millimeter from walls to the tank. So here they have given a connection, but this connection will not be there. Okay, it will stop here. And the third important part is base material. Base material is majorly we will use gravel as the base material. The thickness of the gravel bed should be 30 to 75 centimeter. We can choose 30 to 75 centimeter mainly. And the gravel, if we are placing the gravel, we will place the gravel in layers of 15 centimeter. Okay, different sizes of gravels are layered in 50 centimeter thick layers. Okay, the topmost layer will be 50 centimeter depth and size of the particle will be 3 to 6. That is, at the topmost part we will place the small sized gravel, above which we will place the sand. Bottom, nearer to the under drainage, there will be large sized gravel. Okay. Intermediate layer, there are two intermediate layers having 6 to 20 millimeter size as well as 20 to 40 millimeter size of gravel particles. And the bottom layer has the largest gravel particle size, 40 to 65 millimeter. So this is about base material. And the next important part is filter media. Filter media is, as we have said earlier, it is sand. It has a depth of 600 to 900 millimeter or 60 to 90 centimeter. And the effective size is 0.2 to 0.35. Common value is 0.3. The diameter of the particles will be commonly 0.3. Coefficient of uniformity of sand is commonly 2.5. And finer the sand, better will be the efficiency. But output will be slower, because when sand is finer, the movement of water through the sand will be slow. Okay, so the output will be less. And appurtenances, many appurtenances are used. Some gauges are used for measuring the head, vertical air vent pipe for releasing pressure, telescopic tube for maintaining the discharge from the train, and flow meter to measure the flow. All these are the appurtenances which we are using in slow sand filters. So these are the different parts. Now we'll move on to the working. Working, as we have said earlier, there are four main things: mechanical, straining, what is that? Second thing is biological action, electrolysis, etc. So mainly there are many things. So we will see the working. Impurities in water are removed by a combination of some processes: sedimentation, straining, adsorption, chemical and bacteriological action, etc. First stage is water is purified by mechanical and physical chemical processes of filtration. So the water is moved through that sand and gravel, and some of the suspended matter will be deposited. Alright, it is trapped. Okay, that process is the first stage. Second stage is when after some time, after some days or what, the water, the biological materials or the bacterial, algae, planktons, etc. in water will get deposited at the top layer. Okay, and this will form a layer known as mud deck. We have already discussed about that. That layer traps even more particles. Okay, that layer traps even more particles because that is very smooth layer, so it can trap more particles. Third stage is smudge deck contain actually a large number of bacteria or microorganisms. These bacteria or microorganisms will break down the other impurities in water. Okay, so then water is converted into pure water, carbon dioxide and other oxides. So this is the third stage. And the final stage is the microorganisms will become well established, and the filter will work efficiently because it can remove all the impurities from the water, and the final filtered water will be very much pure. So this is the main working of slow sand filters. And main advantages: they are simple in construction, cheaper, and all the impurities are removed. It reduces the bacterial count by 99.9% and E. coli count by 99%. These are the main advantages. Moving on to the disadvantage, it needs a lot of space. And the second thing is, it is an old fashioned, an outdated method. And the third thing is, its maintenance cost is higher. So these are the disadvantages. Now we'll move on to the second type of filter, that is rapid sand filter. Okay. Nowadays rapid sand filters are more used because rapid sand filters are more effective actually. Okay. Rapid sand filters are the most popular method of filtration for public water supply projects. Size of the sand in rapid sand filter is higher, so that the friction to the water passing through the filter media is minimized. So this is a difference between the rapid and slow sand filter. Here the size of the particle or sand particle used will be higher than that of slow sand filter, because here in this rapid sand filter the flow of water will be rapid. So when the flow of water is rapid, when the smaller particles are used, there will be some friction between the particles. Okay, water cannot move easily through the particles, very small particles. So the particle size will be slightly larger than that of slow sand filters. Main parts as discussed earlier: enclosure tank, under drainage, base material, filter media and appurtenances. The enclosure tank is smaller in size, rectangular in shape, constructed by concrete or masonry work. Depth is 2.5 to 3.5. Surface area should be 20 to 50 meter square. Length to breadth ratio is 1.25 to 1.35. And the filtration rate from this kind of filter is slightly higher than that of slow sand filters. 3000 to 6000 liter per square meter per hour of water will be released from this filter. Second part is under drainage system. You all know what is the purpose of under drainage system: to collect the filtered water and provide uniform distribution of backwash. Backwash is given actually for cleaning the filter in times. Okay, so uniform distribution of backwash water. So these are the two purposes of the under drainage system. So here is the under drainage system. We have already seen this. There is an inlet outlet here. Center drain will be there. A number of laterals will be there. Actually, there are two types of under drainage system. One is pipe and strainer type, and another one is perforated pipes system. So we will see each of them. First one is the pipe and strainer type under drainage system used for collecting the filtered water. So I will show you the figure and I'll show you. So the under drainage system mainly consists of two things. One is a central line, central drain, and many laterals will be there. So actually what is the purpose of this? Here is the sand. The water will move through this. Here is the gravel, and above that there is sand. Water will move through the sand, through the gravel, and then it should reach here, and this water will be collected at the outlet at the other side. Okay, that is the thing going on here. Now, for collecting the water into this tube, we have to provide something, some holes or something. Okay, instead of holes, what we are giving here is, we are giving strainers here. Small length pipes having openings should be given here. So what will happen? The filtered water will be collected. On the laterals, there are many strainers, and the filtered water will be collected in the strainers and finally to the laterals, and the laterals will deliver this water to the central line, center drain, and it will be collected at the outlet. So this is the thing happening in the pipe and strainer type system. Okay, so this is the zoomed view of a strainer. A strainer will be there at sides. It will have hole. This portion is closed because when directly it enters into this lateral drain, it will have some impurities. For reducing that, we will provide holes at the sides. Okay, so this is about the pipe and strainer system. The lateral drains as well as the strainers are generally placed at a distance of 150 to 300 mm. The distance between two strainers and two laterals both are 150 to 300 millimeter. Desirable to place all the strainers at the same elevation. All the strainers should be placed at the same elevation, and these laterals will be placed in this manner for giving a slope to the central drain, for moving water into the central drain. So this is the sectional view of under drainage system, pipe and strainer. Okay. Second type of under drainage system is perforated pipe system. In that, what we are doing is, we have the same system. Okay, same system. What is the difference is, the strainers will not be there. Okay, strainers will not be there. Instead of the strainers, we will provide holes here. Okay, these laterals will be provided with some holes. Some slits will be provided at the bottom. Why we are providing the holes at the bottom? Because when we provide holes at the top, there is a chance of entering of some amount of impurities into the laterals. For avoiding that, only the water should enter into the holes. When it is at the bottom, only the water can enter into the laterals. Okay, so we will provide holes instead of perforations in the laterals at the bottom instead of the strainers. So here you can see the figure. So this is a lateral, a sectional view of a lateral, and we are providing two holes in such a way that the hole should be at 30 degree to the vertical. 30 degree to the vertical. Two holes will be provided. Like that, a number of holes will be provided, but in this section, in a single section, there will be two holes. Water will enter through these holes into the laterals. Finally, it will reach the mains, and the mains will deliver the water to the outlet. So this is about perforated drain system. Diameter of the holes is 10 mm. Center to center distance of the between the two holes is 75 to 200 mm. And laterals are placed at a distance of 150 to 300 mm. Economical, these type of drainage systems are economical and simple, but more water is needed for backwashing. High velocity wash with about 700 liter per minute per square meter water is required. I will explain you what is this backwashing. So this is about the under drainage system. The third part of the rapid sand filter is base material. As we have discussed earlier itself in the slow sand filter, I have discussed it. Base material is gravel. Its thickness is 45 to 60 centimeter we will provide. It is provided in layers of 15 centimeter. Different layers will be provided. Smallest particles will be provided at the bottom and large particles will be at the top. Smallest particle will be provided at the top and large particle will be provided at the bottom. 20 to 50 millimeter will be the size of the bottom layer and 3 to 6 millimeter will be the size of particles in the top layer. So this is about base material. And the depth of the base material, it is normally chosen as 50. Okay. But in some cases, if we need to accurately calculate the depth of base material, then we can use this equation for calculating the depth. Okay, depth of the gravel material. L is equal to 2.54 into K into log D, where D is the gravel size, K is 12, and L is the required depth. Okay. Now the fourth part is the filter media. Filter media is again same as that of slow sand filter. Filter media is sand. Depth of the sand is 60 to 90 centimeter. Effective size is 0.45 we'll choose. Uniformity coefficient commonly is 1.5 for the sand. And again the depth of sand layer will be calculated by using Hudson's formula. Q d cube into H divided by L. All the quantities are given here. This formula is mainly used for calculating the depth of sand layer to be given for a particular type of filter. And the final part is appurtenances. Many appurtenances are used. Wash water troughs are used for collecting the water after washing the filter. I will show you the troughs and all. Air compressors are used for giving compressed air. In this case, in the rapid sand filters, we will sometimes provide air compressors for providing compressed air for cleaning the filter. Sometimes after many days or many months, it should be cleaned. Okay, the material should be cleaned. The base material and the sand particle should be cleaned. It is cleaned by using these air compressors. We will just see that. Rate control devices for some Venturi rate controller will be used for controlling the rate of flow from the outlet. So this is actually the figure of a rapid sand filter. Nothing is there here. This is the inlet pipe. So all there are some 6 valves provided here. 6 valves are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So all the valves are given here. What are the valves? What are that valves used for given here? Valve 1 is the inlet valve from which the water is that waste water or water to be filtered will be delivered into the tank through this valve 1. Okay. Then the water will reach here. This is our tank, enclosure tank. Okay, this is our sand material, this is our gravel, and this is the under drainage, which consists of laterals here. Okay, this is the main and laterals are here. This is a sectional view actually. And and valve 2 is filtered water storage tank valve. So the water will move through the sand, gravel, and it will finally reach the central line, main drain, laterals, and then main drains. The main drain will collect water to the second valve. Water will reach here and it will be delivered to the second valve. This is to filter. The filtered water will be collected here. So when the filter is actually working, only 2 valves will be open. The valve 1 and valve 2. Valve 1 allows the water in and valve 2 allows the filtered water to go out. Okay. All the other valves are used for backwashing or cleaning of the filter. Okay. We'll see other valves. Valve 3 is the wastewater valve to drain water from inlet chamber. Okay, when the amount of water which is allowed from the inlet is higher, okay, higher than the capacity of this filter, then the additional amount of water or the surplus water will be delivered out through this third valve. That valve will be delivered out through this third valve. That is the third valve. And valve number 4, wastewater storage tank. Valve number 4. 4 actually is the wastewater. It is not wastewater. I am sorry. It is wash water. Okay. It is not wastewater. It is wash water storage tank. So this water, wash water storage tank means the water which are used, which we have to use for cleaning the filter. So an amount of water which is filtered through this will be stored here for cleaning the filter. Okay, so whenever necessary, this valve is opened and the water is allowed to fall here, and this valve will be closed at that time. The water from this valve will come here and it will move through this for backwashing. It will move through the filter, gravel, sand particles, and all the impurities which is stuck here will be removed and it will be given to the wash water trough. Okay, so this is the wash water troughs which are provided at the top of the sand. Valve number 6 is compressed air valve. Whenever necessary, we will provide compressed air for cleaning, extra cleaning. We will provide this compressed air. So these are the different valves. I hope it is clear for you. Nothing much serious, it is very simple. So working of the sand, as I have said earlier, when the filter is actually uh, working, only two valves will be opened. Valve number 1 and valve number 2. So what is that? Valve number 1 is opened, water is let in, and water will pass through the sand, gravel, and filtered water will be collected in the main drain. Valve number 2 will be opened, it will come out and the filtered water is stored. So this is the process occurring. Now, so this is the process occurring. I have given here. Operation during cleaning is this process. What is happening is, I'll explain the backwashing operation. Whenever cleaning is necessary, we will provide backwashing. So while backwashing, all the valves other than the 1 and 2 will be open. Okay, how we can do the backwash? Close the valves 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2, they are just for filtering the water. So we don't need filtration now. We have to wash the filter materials. We have to clean the filter. So 1 and 2 will be closed. Open air valve 6. You have to first open the compressed air valve so that air blows at a rate of 1 to 1.5 meter cube free air per minute per meter square of bed area for 2 to 3 minutes. We will allow 1 to 1.5 meter cube of air per minute for a time period of 2 to 3 minutes into the screen. Okay. This will break up the scum and loosen the dirt. Then the valve is closed and open the wash water valve 5 gradually to prevent the dislodgement of final particles. Okay, we will see each of them. Using this figure, I can explain it to you. So while cleaning, we will close this valve and this valve. Okay, what we are doing is first we will open this valve. Here there is compressed air. So compressed air will come here and it will be forced to this gravel and sand filter. Okay, at that time what will happen is the materials or particles which are deposited here will be loosened. Okay, it will jerk and it will get loosened. Okay, now we will close this valve. And what we are doing is we will open valve 4. Valve 4 is the wash water valve. So water is allowed to flow through this pipe and it will be allowed to pass here. And since all these valves are closed, okay, at this time. So what will happen is this water will forced through this materials. Okay, forced through this gravel and sand. So since it is already jerked and loosened, all the waste materials which are trapped there will be dissolved in this water, this wash water, and it will come out. Okay, it will come out, and some of the water will be collected in the wash water trough. The remaining water will be delivered to the valve 3 and it will be taken out through this outlet. Okay, wash water tray. Okay, extra water will be taken out through this outlet. That is the thing. Okay. Okay, that is the cleaning process. So while cleaning process, what we are doing is we will back flush. Water will be allowed to pass upward through the filter and back flush water out will be delivered from the valve. That is the thing. So this is about back washing. Now we'll see this is the important portion. The difference or slow sand and rapid sand filter. What are the comparisons? Okay. So in case of slow sand filter, no pre-treatment is required. In case of rapid sand, pre-treatment is required because we are forcing the water, or not forcing, we are allowing the water to flow in a higher speed than that of slow sand filters. So we have to remove some things, some sediments before the process, before filtration. Base materials are gravel base. 30 to 75 centimeter depth will be given. In case of rapid sand, it is 45 to 50. The depth is lesser and the size is also lesser. In case of filter sand, Effective size is 0.2 to 0.35 in case of slow sand, but in case of rapid sand it is larger. So larger sized particles of sand will be used in rapid sand filter, not the point. And uniformity coefficient for this sand is 3 to 5. Here it is 1.2 to 1.7. Uniformity coefficient is lesser for rapid sand. Thickness of the sand bund will be higher for slow sand and lower for rapid sand. Under drainage system will have open jointed pipes or drains covered with perforated blocks, while in case of this rapid sand, perforated pipe laterals discharging into main header will be there. Size of the unit will be larger for slow sand. Size will be lesser for rapid sand. Tank size will be lesser for rapid sand. Rate of filtration will be higher for rapid sand. Cost of installation is lower for rapid sand, but its maintenance is higher. In this case of slow sand, it is opposite. And the efficiency of the filter, this rapid sand can remove the turbidity to maximum extent. It can remove 80 to 90% of the matter from. But in case of slow sand, it is much efficient, I think. Turbidity is very low, less than 30 NTU will be for the final water. This turbidity water can be used for only this amount of turbidity. If the water have this amount of turbidity, then only we can use that water for filtering in slow sand filter. In case of removal of bacteria, it can remove up to 99%. Suitability is, for public water supply, we can use this rapid sand only. Post treatment, in case of this rapid sand, it cannot remove much bacteria. So we have to go for a disinfection here. In case of slow sand, it is not necessary much. Ease of construction, this slow sand is a simple for construction. Skilled supervision is needed for rapid sand. Loss of head is higher in rapid sand. Method of cleaning is very simpler in this rapid sand because we have a backwashing system. It is simple and easy. But in case of this, it is laborious. Removing the layer of smut decay is a very tedious process. The quantity of wash required is higher for this rapid sand. And cleaning interval will be 1 to 2 days for this and 3 to 4 months for this slow sand filter. So these are the main differences between slow sand as well as rapid sand filters. Now we'll move on to the next type of filter, that is pressure filter. Okay, pressure filter means we are giving some pressure somewhere. Okay, so pressure filters indicate that a filter is enclosed in a space and the water passes under greater than atmospheric pressure. Water is allowed greater than atmospheric pressure. Pressure can be developed by pumping, or it may from 0.3 to 0.7 Newton per millimeter square will be the pressure. So the construction of the pressure filters, they are closed steel cylinders actually, either riveted or welded. They may be horizontal or vertical. Diameter having 1.5 to 3 meter, length 3.5 to 8 meter, height 3.5 to 8 meter, and manholes will be provided. I'll show you the figure. Manholes for inspection will be provided. And the main working is, actually the water mixed with coagulant is directly admitted to the pressure filter. Okay. Now, as a result, flocculation takes place in the filter. When we are adding coagulants, of course, flocculation will occur inside the filter. In normal working, all the valves will be closed except those for raw water and filtered water. As I have explained earlier, raw water filter as well as the valve as well as the filtered water valve will be open. All the other valves will be closed. Water is admitted through the inlet. It is filtered, collected in the central drain and conveyed to the filtered water. All the other thing is same as that of rapid sand, but the only difference is water is allowed into the filter at a pressure, and coagulants will be added into the water, to the water. Cleaning of the pressure filter can be done by means of compressed air, and this is about the cleaning. The rate of filtration will be 6,000 to 15,000. It is much higher than that of the rapid sand filter, but it is less efficient than that of rapid sand filter. Main advantages of this type of filter is when we change the compressed air pressure, we can change the rate of filtration. So we can alter the filtration rate. It is very flexible. Okay, that is the main thing. It is compact and modern units are automatic also. It do not require further pumping. Only one pumping is needed. It is ideal for small installation since it is very small and compact. We can use it for small installation. It requires less spacing and less number of fittings are needed. Separate sedimentation or coagulation tanks are not needed because we are adding the coagulants to the water and pressuring the water into the filter. Okay, so no things are needed. Disadvantages is it is difficult to repair. We cannot watch it closely because it is in a closed chamber, all the things happening in a closed chamber, and the overall capacity will be less, costlier, poor efficiency. So these are the main things. So this is about the types of filters and filtration process. Thank you.